O.J. Murdoch. He's the Tennessee Titans football player who died at the age of 25 after shooting himself while sitting in his car outside the high school that he went to and was a football star at. We had big hopes for this guy, and I'm really sad to hear of his passing. And I'm concerned about it as a homeopath. I feel like there's some remedies for this. By the way, this is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not meant to medically advise anybody of anything. So this is not to be taken as medical advice. If you have a problem, you should see an appropriate medical professional for help here. We're just discussing some remedies here. And this is not meant to prescribe anything, okay? So if you before trying any remedies mentioned here or any remedy mentioned here, go and have the assistance of a medical professional. All right, good. Now we got that out of the way. Let's get back to this. So the question is, has arisen about the what these head injuries do to these football players. This is the sixth player, NFL football star, to have committed suicide this year, and it's causing quite a stir. Here's a story from a story about Jerry Shockey in the called The Huddle. Here he is here. And it says late Sunday night, Jeremy Shockey tweeted a link to this ESPN story about the late Junior Seau, who sadly committed suicide in May. We can't confirm that Shockey actually read the touching piece written by L.Z. Granderson, but it seems Shockey used it as a launching point to, among other things, accuse NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell of lying about the health effects of concussions. And here's what he wrote on his tweet. He says, "It's the know-it-all raw Goodell lied to every player and told us concussions will not affect us in life. That a lie." Well, I guess Twitter isn't too inspiring of good grammar or handwriting over typing. But as you can see, this is probably going to have a profound effect on football, because if these guys are seeing that their colleagues are committing suicide because of head injuries, they're going to kind of think twice about wanting to play the game or want to hit some of the guys so hard with their heads or get hit in the head, make them a lot more sensitive to that. Well, the question, of course, being that I'm a homeopath, is, well, is there anything in homeopathy that can assist in that? Is there anything for like a concussion? And, well, a lot of people wouldn't even think to ask that question, because it's assumed that homeopathy is basically good for nothing but colds as a placebo. It's just a bunch of placebos for the sniffles, that kind of thing. And it's not meant for serious afflictions or illnesses or problems. But actually, the fact of the matter is, homeopathy has a long history of observation of all kinds of conditions, diseases and injuries, that sort of thing, and what kind of remedies that are used for that has been a topic of long inspection and debate and interest, and has basically resided there in the materia medica, the medical reference work, for a long time now. So there actually is some remedies, and I'd like to show you how it is that we find these remedies. There's over 1,000 remedies within the average, well, I shouldn't even say the average, fairly exhaustive materia medica is going to have about 3,000 or 1,000 different remedies in it, such as the Clark materia medica. And the remedies, there's so many remedies that you need to cross-index them. So what we do is we use the symptoms to guide us to the remedy. The remedy will have a remedy picture. In other words, that remedy will represent or indicate a number of different symptoms, or I should say a number of different symptoms are indicated by the remedy. And some of these remedies have a huge number of symptoms with them. So it takes a lot of knowledge of. You have to really know the database pretty well in your head. Maybe you even need a photographic memory, because the way we select these remedies then is to see which remedy applies to the most symptoms, and then we add that up, number of criteria, and we value each one of these criteria. So here we have, let's say, we've had a problem with suicide. So we go and we put suicide in the search line here in this program, suicide, and then we put that up, and it comes up two things: dreams of suicide. It's a remedy that's indicated by that. Well, I wonder. That's curious. I wonder which one. Who dreams of suicide? What does that mean? Nausea. Nausea is the cobra venom. Remedy made from the electromagnetic extract of the cobra, king cobra. You know, the snake, right? But anyway, look at this now. See, there's 7 remedies under mine, fear of suicide, and so we click on this thing here. I check where's my pointer? There's my pointer. Click on the pointer, and then it ends up down here. Mine, sadness, mental depression, and here we have fear of suicide. 7 remedies, and we click on this and we can see what they are. Okay, so alamina, arsenicum, mercury, and natrum sulfuricum. Okay, so and then a number of other remedies too, but these are the top remedies for this particular condition of suicide. Indicators of this of various remedies. Okay, this symptom here, mind confusion, injury, injury after injury to the head. There's one remedy indicated for this, and that's natrum sulfur, sulfuricum, and they give it a weight of 3 here. Okay, and then here's concussion of the brain. There's 20 of these remedies, and under concussion there is right there again, natrum sulfuricum. So as you can see, natrum sulfuricum over here pops up in all four of these symptoms that we found here. All right? All 4 of these symptoms, and of course this is the remedy list. Let me pop this back down again so you can see them all. Concussion of the brain, confusion after injury to the head, suicide, and sadness or mental depression. All 4 of them are natrum sulfuricum, and they add up to the value of 9. So that becomes our most indicated remedy for this syndrome: injury to the head, depression, suicide, concussion. So now, then what do we do is we go to the materia medica. I'll pick on Clark for this. I really like Clark. Clark is exhaustive. Covers about 1,000 remedies in his materia medica. This is John Henry Clark, M.D., a medical doctor. Okay. Medical doctor, trained in homeopathy, trained in the use of these things as homeopathic, in the homeopathic way. In other words, they're not necessarily all high dilutes. He lists a lot of things in their use here, in their material form, as well as their energetic extract, which is created by the process of succussion and dilution. Okay, here's natrum sulf here, okay? Natrum sulfuricum. So here he says, natrum sulfuricum, sodium sulfate, salmirabil, soda vitriolata, Glauber's salt, from a trituration and of the solution. And here's the chemical formula for that. And here are the clinical indications for it: asthma, biliousness, Injuries of the brain. Look at that. Injuries of the brain. Condylomata. Debility of drunkards. Debility of drunkards. Diabetes. Dyspepsia of drunkards. Enuresis. You probably know what that's like. Epistaxis. So is a headache here. Influenza liver, enlarged liver. Malaria. Ophthalmia. See if there's anything else that looks like it may apply. Well, no, but here now Clark gives a number of the different. He has made a discussion about how it was discovered in 1658 and how it named it. He goes on and on and on. You can see this is quite extensive. Okay. Causation. He says causation, anger, injury to the head or fall, suppressed gonorrhea. Oof. But now here he goes through the mental characteristics of this remedy. And this is what is indicated by it and what it is used to correct, but also what it will cause in its toxic form. Sadness, inclined to weep, melancholy with periodical attacks of mania, timidity, weak, enfeebled, satiety of life, suicidal, has to use all the self-control to prevent shooting himself. Shooting himself. Mental results of injury to the head. Mental results to the injury of the head. This was written over 100 years ago, okay, and they knew about this. So what's going on here? See, once again, we're not using the medical reference work that we have at our beck and call. So this is obviously anybody would see. It would appear from reading the Materia Medica that anybody who is subjected to a head injury should have the use of natrum sulfate. It would seem that way. I believe Glauber salts acts as something as a desiccant to dry things out because of the, when you get a head injury, there's usually fluid that accumulates, right? So that's what it could be. So every sports trainer, every, the trainer on the team who's on the sidelines there, you would think ought to have some natrum sulfuricum. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, homeopathy is real phony. Well, how do you know? How do they know that it's phony? Unless they've tried it themselves. Of course, they haven't tried it themselves, have they? You see, people know that it works because they've seen it work. So, anyway, we're really missing a big thing here in helping people. I believe, this is what I believe, is that these people could have been saved, these young men could have been saved from suicide if they'd had some proper treatment by a professional that knew what he was doing about this. So there you have it. Natrum sulfuricum, head injuries.